My name is Clark Harrison. I know 99.9% of you have no clue who I am. I'm just some guy. But my name is Clark Harrison, and I am an executive regional vice president and soon to be national vice president with Arbonne. What's up, Sam? What's up, baby? How you doing? Alexis is on too. So first things first, what's up, Dylan? Hey, Michelle, what's up? Hey. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you guys. Well, not really seeing you, but I'm so happy to kind of be seeing you. Anywho, so my name's Clark Harrison. I'm an executive regional vice president, soon to be national vice president with Arbonne. I was supposed to be joined with my wife, Alexis. However, she she fell down our stairs yesterday carrying all these Arbonne products that you see behind me right here. All these Arbonne products. We had an event at the house and she carried these products down the stairs and fell and hurt like directly onto her tailbone, down the whole thing, like straight down. So needless to say, she's in a lot of pain and she actually can't sit. So she's in bed and kind of keeping an eye on our daughter while I chat with you guys for a second. But anywho, so let me introduce myself and tell you what I'm talking to you guys about. First, I want to thank Sammy for asking me to talk to you guys. I am extremely honored that she even asked me. I take that as a huge compliment. So I appreciate it. And I'm very grateful for her to be pouring into my team next week. I cannot wait. And I know they're so psyched. I've told a couple of people and they're like freaking out. So, all right. So what are we talking about? We're talking about month end. And what I'm going to do is since none of you know me, I'm going to share my story a little bit and weave in some of my training into this. And closing the month strong is something I've definitely learned with experience. I've had my Arbonne business for 6 years. 6 years ago, I was living in LA. I've always been a music producer, songwriter, touring musician, etc. And back then, here's how Arbonne changed my life. I was in a Pilates studio. I was teaching Pilates part-time when I wasn't on tour. And one day I got to work and I got fired because the company was going out of business. And then I saw my car getting towed from across the street, which I didn't have the money to get it back. And then I got a call from my roommate saying my apartment exploded and the kitchen caved into my bedroom, which was underneath. This all happened within 15 minutes. In that class was a stranger. The same way you would go to Starbucks and see a stranger. There was a stranger in that class. Her name is Claire Rizzoli. At the time, she was a brand new area manager with Arbonne. She's now soon to be executive national vice president. But she was a stranger, and she overheard this stuff happening to me. And you know what she didn't do? She didn't go, wow, that sucks for that guy, and walk away. She was brave. She walked right up to somebody she didn't know, and she was so scared. And she said, I'm so sorry. I know that we don't know each other, but I overheard everything that happened, and I'm really, really sorry. Look, I don't want to overstep, but if you need to make some extra money, I own my own business with Arbonne, and I could tell you a little about it if you wanted to chat. And I was like, amazing, thank you. And that's how we connected. So what I want you to think about really quick is how often she saved my life that day, like literally saved my life and changed my life by having 15 seconds of courage and walking up to somebody and just asking. And what's important about that is how often could we do that every day when somebody's struggling to get their groceries in or has too many hands on the kids and can't, think about all the things that we pass on. I know I do. I'm a stay-at-home parent. I see it every day. And, I'm going to be transparent. I don't say it as much as I should. I talk myself out of it a lot of times because I'm like, I don't want them to think I'm creepy or whatever my BS excuse is. But Claire didn't have a BS excuse that day. She just offered it to me and it changed my life. So you never know, She could have easily said, look, he's this 26-year-old guy with tattoos and clearly he's not the right fit for Arbonne. Oh yeah, I'm not the right fit? Really? Okay. I'm about to be a national vice president. Clearly, it doesn't matter. So just do it because you never know. So we're going to talk about closing the month, and I'm going to tell you how I went region. And I think I want to tell you this story because it encapsulates closing the month, and then I'm just going to get direct on the training. and what I do to my team when it comes to closing the month, and the kind of motto that I've tried to instill in the mindset of my team about our mindset. I'm just gonna tell you what we do. Our mindset about closing the month and going for goals. And here's the short of it, go for it. And now I'm going to prove to you why you should go for it, because everyone wants to know why. Especially when you're new. When you're new, you don't know why you should go for it, right? When you're new, it's like so much easier to not, right? But I'm going to give you very compelling reasons why you'll want to go for it. So I hope that you all have the biggest month you've ever had in the next 2 days, because you can. So here's how I went region. And this story is not unique to me. This story is very common. It happened several times in my business, the same exact way. Alexis's, I'll touch on hers too. But I went region, was stuck at area for a year and a half. Okay, I'm gonna go fast. I was stuck at area for a year and a half. I was doing the do, I just don't think that, I don't think it was a no matter what to me. You know, every month I would end the month around 20,000. And I would say this, around this time of the month, every month, I would say, I'm not even halfway, you know, I'm not even halfway and there's only like 2 days left. There's no way. And then that was how it was every month for a year and a half. Now, was it that way because it was just that way, or was it that way because that's what I believed? It was that way because that's what I believed. Whatever you believe is what you're going to align your actions with, and therefore is going to be the results you get. So I believe because I wasn't closer to a goal that we weren't going to make it. And so ask yourself right now, what is your goal for this month? And how close would you have to be to not turn back? So for example, if your goal was 10,000 area qual, right? Exactly, Alexis, mindset shift. How close would you have to be, right? So if your goal is 10 grand, how close would you have to be by today to be like, there is no way I'm letting this go? 8,000, that's usually the common answer. Like if I was at 8,000, I won't let it go. I won't get that close and not make it. What is that number for you, right? And here's why I ask you that. I want you to imagine what that's like. If you were there, you'd be like, you'd figure it out no matter what, because you're not going to get to like 9,000 3 days before the end of the month and not finish, right? Of course, that's ridiculous. Who would let that go? But what if you could have that level of belief even if you're at 3,000 today? Right? What if you could have that level of belief whether you're at 1,000, 2,000, 5,000? Why does it have to be a certain number for you to have a no matter what? You know, think about this. You know what that proves? That proves you're a victim of circumstance if that's you. Because if you're a victim of circumstance, let's define that. It means if the circumstances look good, I will believe. That's backwards. That means everything on the outside of me has to look perfect before I will tap my potential. You're gonna be waiting forever, because that's not how creation works. Creation works from the inside out, not from the outside in. So you should never say, oh, if I'm this close, it's possible and I'll believe it's possible. If that's how you're thinking, you'll never change. Instead, what I've created is a system in my team where you can slowly change that belief, where you'll believe you're going to make it to 10,000 even if you're at 3,000. We've had people in our team go area qual when they're at 3,000 on the last day of the month. And not once. That's happened several times. If that can happen for us, why can't it happen for you? The only difference is these people who were at 3,000 on the last day of the month completely decided 10,000 is possible. And I'm going to break this down really quick. First of all, my region story. Once again, I was getting to 20,000 towards the end of every month and believing that it wasn't going to happen because I was not even halfway on the last day. But then one day I met the love of my life. Right, good. So many over 3,000 right now. So there's going to be a lot of area calls. So one day I met the love of my life, Alexis, who's upstairs right now. And we decided, like, you know, when you know, and I know Sam and Dylan know that. When you know, you know. And we knew, and we were like, that's it. We're going to spend our lives together. So what did we do? I was still an area manager. I decided to move here to New York to be with her. We decided to have a baby. And we decided we were going to get married. And we decided we were going to have a house. And we decided we were going to do the whole thing. We made these decisions, like decisions being like, I booked it, like I was moving. I canceled my lease. I was coming here. I went to get my car, my Mercedes, right? I went to get my Mercedes. At that, I wasn't a Region yet. I put a down payment on. It was going to be here in 3 months. We got pregnant, right? We got pregnant on purpose. I have to add that in there. We got pregnant on purpose. So we started taking action on these plans, but I was still an area manager. So all of a sudden I go, well, the month we got pregnant and decided I was moving and put a down payment on my Mercedes that I couldn't afford, I realized towards the end of that month when we were getting close to the standard 20,000 again, something different said, I can't not get to 40 this time. I can't tolerate not. It has to. And you know what? That's the difference that I realized why I was stuck for a year and a half. I didn't need to before. But what I did differently this time is I made decisions that made me have to. So what did that mean? That translated into me playing a bigger game. When the rest of my team didn't want to reach out anymore, I was up till midnight. I went through every single person in my phone. I've had the same phone number since I was 16. I have like 10 Ashleys. I don't know who any of them are, but I reached out to every single one of them all the way through my phone book. You know how scary that was? It was awful, but I did these things because I couldn't afford to not go Region at this point. The car was coming. Right? Turn your shoulds into musts. Exactly, Alex. I love how Alexis is like co-training from the comment section upstairs. Anywho, so what happened was on the last day of the month, I was still 14,000 QV away at like 8 p.m. on the last day of the month. Okay, still 14,000 away. Was not about to give up at all. Was not about to give up. And I was going through that list, and you know what? I was getting so vulnerable, hard on the sleeve, and what happened is a random woman in my phone who I didn't even know well, loved the mission behind why I was going Region, because we were going to have a family, and this would mean I wouldn't have to get a job, and I'm moving to be with, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And she signed up as a consultant and put in a 14,000 QV business order. I'm not kidding. And I didn't know if Arbonne was going to let her do that or whatever, but they did. And she ordered, and she's like, I can gift this stuff in my business. I can gift this throughout the year, my business. She put in 14,000 QV that pushed me over 40. It was totally not legitimate. It was legitimate because it was a real thing, but it wasn't legitimate meaning like I didn't have the team. But I knew, because of the commitments I made with my family and what I was going to do, that if I had one opportunity, I prayed for this in my meditations every day, and I had finished the book, Wishes Fulfilled by Wayne Dyer, so I was really in touch and meditating all the time. And I've always been a big meditator, so I can tap into that. And what happened was a QV angel, that's what she was. And I knew if I had the opportunity, I would not let it down. So what did I do over those 3 months? I worked my butt off, and we finished in month 3. In month 3, we had to do 26,000 in 2 days to finish. 26,000 in 2 days. So just where were we at? We were like 15,000. Okay. So if you're at 15,000 right now, go Region, because you can. We were at, so we needed 26,000 QV in 2 days to finish. And I just didn't have plans. I sat in the same stinky clothes for 2.5 days at that table. And literally, I don't even know what I did. I went up, down, over any excuse. I was asking every single person that if they would find 2 other people to do an order with them, like if they were going to order from me, if they had bring other people into the order, I'll buy their stuff. I would give out any deal I could. I was matching things. I was spending probably my entire paycheck, but that's how committed I was to get it done. And you know what the feeling it was getting done. I already had my Mercedes. I just had picked it up. Like, this was not going to finish. So the moral of the story is the reason why I went Region was because I stopped letting the back door be. I put myself in a position where I had to. And this is like how Tony Robbins says, if you want to take the island, you have to burn the boat that you came in on. Humans have unbelievable potential. But unfortunately, because we're bred to be victim of circumstance, it only comes out when you don't have another way. if you have no way out. You want to hear a perfect example for your potential? I want you to think if you have kids or something, right? And if you don't have kids, this might be tough for you. But if you do, let's do this. If you're on the top of a building and there's another building and there's like a skinny like piece of wood across the two buildings, and I'm on this side and I'm holding $100 bill, and I say, walk this plank between these two tall buildings for $100. You're going to be like, it's not worth it. I don't want to plummet to my death up here. I'm not coming over there. But if I had your kid, imagine if this is Sam on the other side of the building or Dylan, and I had Sage off the holding her off the side, you wouldn't even question. You would run across that thing and come get it. You know why? Because it's what's on the other side that's of value. It's amazing what you'll do if what you decide is worth it on the other end. And so here's what I do about closing the month. And now I'm just going to get into and Alexis too. Alexis didn't decide to go region, and I wish I had the paper, babe. If you hear me and you want to bring the paper to me, be my guest. But we wrote down all her QV each day. And Alexis, when she decided to go region, she didn't decide till the 18th, by the way. She was only at 9,000. 9,000 on the 18th, okay? On the 27th of the month, she was only at 19,000. So she was like just halfway to region. On the 27th, 4 days left, okay? On the last day of the month, she still needed 11 or 12,000, and then we finished. 75% of that QV, meaning 30,000 of the 40,000, came in the last 4 days. Okay? Now, it's what my point I'm trying to make is you can do it. You can do it if you just decide to. She just was not going to consider it not happening. And when you don't consider it not happening, you'll do anything. So here's why I tell people we go for it. This is why we go for it, okay? Yeah, and we lost our Wi-Fi. Yeah, we also lost our Wi-Fi on the closed day too for a little while, which was terrifying. So this is why we go for it, okay? Let's say, so here's what I want to do for you. Figure out what your goal is. What did you want to do by the end of this month? Let's say, what was your goal setting at the beginning of this month? What was your plan, right? What did you want to do? Was it 10,000? Was it a district bonus? Was it 5,000, right? What was your goal? And now here's a success lesson in network marketing. Never adjust the goal, adjust the activity. So whatever your goal was, it still is. And if you're not close, you don't adjust the goal. You adjust what you do. And if you didn't do enough, then that means you're going to work really hard the next few days. But here's why it's worth it. Here's why it's worth it. Here's why you need to go for your goal. And I'm going to prove to you why you need to go for your goal, even if you don't want to, especially if you're new. It's probably better for newer people. If you're a leader, by the way, in this team, and you know what I'm saying, you need to be an advocate of this and speak up, because we need to show the new people what they're capable of. We need to remind them of the power they have. So here's what we do. Here's why you should go for it. Play out the two options. Let's say you're at 3,000 because Sam said there's a lot of people at 3,000. Here's why you need to go for 10, okay? First, let's go with this route. Let's say you don't go for it. Let's say you don't. You hear me talk and you go, I'm not gonna go for it. I'm not gonna, I'll try, but I'm not gonna go for it. Here's what you get, okay? One, how do you feel going to bed at the end of the month, knowing that you didn't go for it? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel strong? If you don't go for it, you don't feel good, because you know you should, right? You don't feel good. One, do you get close to your goal? No, because you didn't go for it. Do you find out what you're capable of? No, because you didn't apply yourself. Did you learn anything? No, because you weren't in action. So what do you get by not going for it? Nothing. You get what you have right now. And do you like that or not? So what do you get by not going for it? Nothing. Let's talk about what you get if you do decide to go for it, right? The number one reason why people don't go for their goals is because they don't think they're going to make it. But what if the point wasn't to make it, though? What if the point was not to make it? What if the point was to slowly change the habit in your brain to not be afraid? Kind of like what I said in the beginning, where being a victim of circumstance means you'll only tap your potential if you're at a certain closeness. Like if you're at 9,000 out of 10, there's no way you're going to let it go. What if you could be like that all the time? What if you honestly believed, like imagine how much belief you'd have if you're at 9,000 and your goal was 10. You would already be right. You'd be telling everyone you're going area. You would be in so much belief, it's ridiculous, right? What if you could believe that strong, authentically like that, even if you weren't close? You'd be limitless in your life. You would apply 100% of your passion into anything you choose to do, no matter what it is, because you know you can't fail. How do you become that though? How do you become that? This is how you become that. You ready? You go for your goal anyway. You might not make it, and that's fine. I haven't made it several times, but here's the point. Let's say you're at that 3,000 and you're going for 10. And you go for it, you go, screw it, let's go all out. Let's just completely blow through my list. Let's blow through the contacts. Let's get the team crazy. Let's just go. Go nuts for these 3 days. Get completely crazy. Your hair, you're not gonna take a shower. You're gonna be completely a mess. You're gonna be so tired. Let's say you do that and you don't make it. What do you get? Did you get the goal? No. But what else did you get? You will go to bed feeling totally accomplished, because even though you didn't reach the goal, you know it wasn't because of you, right? You didn't fail. You know that you did every possible thing you could. You can't feel bad about that. I've gone for Nation full out several times and haven't made it several times. But the only months I feel bad about it is when I didn't really try. But when I really, really tried and it didn't work, I still feel incredible. Also, you tend to get way closer. So if you're at 3 and you go for it full out, you may not hit 10, but you will hit 7. You will. And you'll be like, wow, if I did 4,000 in 2 days, what could I do in March? And therefore you start growing that belief. Listen, I'm gonna repeat that. If you're at 3,000 and you go for 10 completely and you don't make it, you're gonna get way closer and you're gonna tell yourself on the 1st of March, God, I applied myself for 2 days and we did 4,000 in 2 days. What could we do in the whole month? And suddenly your belief for doing it in March is 10 times what it was if you wouldn't have gone for it. Now, if you did that month after month, you'll be a Nation in 5 seconds. Because each month your belief of what you guys can do is just gonna get stronger and stronger based on what you show yourself you're capable of by not stopping. Do you see how going for it no matter what has so many benefits? Going for your goal no matter what gets you way closer. You'll probably even reach it, believe it or not, depending on what it is. Most likely you'll reach it and you'll be like, wow, I can't even believe I almost wasn't even gonna go for it. And now I'm a new district manager or whatever, right? It's happened so many times in our team. So if you don't go for it, you get nothing. You don't grow. You reinforce the belief that you're a victim of circumstance. If you don't go for it, you reinforce the mind saying, yeah, I'll tap my potential if things look good out there. And you're never gonna have the life you want, unfortunately, if that's what you reinforce. But if you break that down by going for things no matter what, because they're not reasonable, 1, you might make it, that'll change your life forever. 2, you'll get really close and you'll be like, oh my God, look what we were doing. Oh, what could you do next month? 3, you're gonna make a lot more money. 4, you're gonna be a lot more activity and you're gonna be in a lot of momentum next month because it's all gonna pile on the 1st. You're gonna have a lot of orders on the 1st and 2nd. You're just gonna start month incredible. And 5, you're gonna learn so much, especially if you're new. You're gonna learn so much about going for it that when you do this again in March, you're gonna be way better. You're gonna do way better and you're gonna get way further. So do you see, very logically, why going for it has to happen? If you have any chance of making it at all, you have to go. Like, you have to run full force. And if it's scary, understand it's just your mind telling you it's scary because it doesn't want you to change who you are. It just doesn't want you to be a different you, right? It needs to preserve itself. It's not real fear of what you're doing. It's just fear of dying. It's fear of dying to the personality that's limited right now. But you don't want to be this person. That's the whole point. So by not going for it, you get nothing. You maintain who you are, you reinforce the victim of circumstance mentality, and you're just who you are. And you'll be waiting forever, like I was stuck forever. But if you decide to just run completely for your goal, right, you'll probably make it, or you'll get so close. You'll make a lot more money. You'll realize, whoa, look what I did. If we did this in this last couple of days, look what we could do in the whole month. Wow, I learned this much about closing. This is incredible. I learned this about going for it. What if we started a few days earlier? Everything just piles on, and you break down the concept of, I don't care if it doesn't look real, I can make it happen. Next month, I don't care if it doesn't look real, I can make it happen. Next month, I don't care if it doesn't look real, I can make it happen. Eventually, you stop that condition where, well, if I'm this close, I'm going for it. That won't exist anymore. You'll just be like, I'm going for it, no matter where you are, because you believe you can. And then you're limitless. Then you'll limitless. You'll literally say one day, I'm gonna build a town in another country to help kids in need. And you'll just believe you can, because you have created the mindset of you can do things. I hope this is resonating. So I've had so many people go from 3,000 to 10,000 in the last day. I've had people go from 8,000 to 20,000 in the last day. I did 26,000 in 2 days. When we did Nation Qual, we did, I think, like 60,000 in 2 days, something like that. Something insane. Alexis, both times she went region, because she went region, lost it and got it back, was all the same type of thing, like 20,000+ in the last couple of days. Guys, it's not normal. Everyone, if you're new in Arbonne, you think it's logical. You think you need to be halfway to your goal, halfway through the month, three quarters of the way. That's not how this is. Usually you get halfway by the very end and then crush the other half in the last couple of days. That's normally how this is. So if that's you, you're just in a regular situation. That's normal. Don't, unfortunately, pull yourself out of the game because you're waiting for things to look easier. You don't want it to be easy. You want to have a success story, because if you have a success story, my success story with going region is what inspired people in my team to go. So fight for your life, fight for your promotion, fight for your goals, because that is what's going to change. That's what's going to change your team's future, because you did it, right? So that's my training on going for it. I don't know how long that was, but I hope that was okay. And I'm sure there's more I could talk about. I just don't want to take up any more of your guys' time. But yes, I hope that was all right. And I hope you guys just say F it and go, you know?